Hi everyone, my name is Vays. I am here in New Delhi to speak at the Blockchain Summit. Very enthusiastic to learn what the communities here think about the crypto space, blockchain, Bitcoin, and here to give some of my views on it. Most that are familiar with my work. Vays. I started out in traditional finance, working on Wall Street. Moved fully into this space in 2015. I traveled the world. I try to explain Bitcoin and blockchain and also educate on trading. And to me, Bitcoin is not only the first blockchain, I believe it will be the only blockchain. I see the blockchain as being the invention of Satoshi as proof of work to solve the double spending problem. It is not a simple problem, and it is not a simple solution. It involves this method of mining around the world that gives us this decentralization, and it's so difficult to recreate. To me, Bitcoin solves a major problem of fiat currencies that are controlled by the governments. Bitcoin gives three properties that separate it from everything that came before it and everything that came after. It is unconfiscatable asset, it is censorship resistant value transfer, and it is an unprintable asset. It has a finite supply. And I believe those properties will continue to separate Bitcoin. It will one day have applications beyond currency, but for now, it will be currency. All right, the price of Bitcoin has corrected about 80% because it got way too high of the hype, more than it should have. I think sometime this year we'll find the bottom and the price will slowly start to go up, and I expect new all-time highs for Bitcoin by 2022, 2023, and then it will go up very, very quickly. I think the future is very bright for Bitcoin. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Vays. I have about 15 minutes to go through a presentation. Oh, can you lower the light so it's better before? Can you lower the light so it's better? I'm not going to talk too much about myself. How many of you are familiar with my work? How many of you have seen me on YouTube? Oh, excellent. A lot of you. I am former Wall Street. I worked at Bear Stearns at JP Morgan. I was there during the financial crisis. And what I do today is I travel the world, I try to explain this complicated world of Bitcoin and blockchain. I also have trading experience. I teach people how to be more responsible traders. I used to be a trader. It's a little difficult to find the time these days. But what I want to talk to you today is, I want to talk specifically about Bitcoin. I want to talk about the value proposition of Bitcoin. What you see on the screen behind me is the entire price history of Bitcoin from 2010 up to today. And if we talk about the very early days of Bitcoin, how was Bitcoin introduced? Well, Satoshi stated in the abstract that digital signatures provide part of the solution, but the main benefits are lost if a trusted third party is still required to prevent double spending. We propose a solution to the double spending problem using peer-to-peer networks. The network timestamps transactions by hashing them into an ongoing chain of hash-based proof of work. So what was the innovation of blockchain and that gave us Bitcoin? The innovation was proof of work. It was the mechanism by which the middleman is removed by sending digital data and avoiding the double spend problem. What does that mean in an everyday world? Whenever you send a text message, whenever you send an email, whenever you send a picture, you've always sent a copy of that picture. Not only did you always keep an identical version of it, they're both almost originals, and someone in the middle is also transmitting that digital piece of data. Bitcoin removed that middleman, so that when you send the digital data, you actually lose the digital data. And that is why Bitcoin is being used as a form of money today, because Satoshi made that piece of data be finite, and I'll mention that in a little bit. So how did it get very popular? In the early days, the first use case was using Bitcoin for funding an initiative called WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks out of Australia was basically releasing classified government documents. When they got cut off from Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, they suggested, hey, we should use Bitcoin for donations, and they were able to continue doing what they were doing. And that was the very first use case with Bitcoin as this censorship-resistant value transfer. That use case was highlighted again with Silk Road. How many of you are familiar with what Silk Road was? Okay, a lot of hands go up. Silk Road was this decentralized marketplace where people could buy things that in some countries are considered illicit. It was a very popular website to mostly buy drugs, and that provided another example that sending Bitcoin can be stopped. It was highlighted by a senator in the US, in New York, Chuck Schumer. He went on TV screaming how bad Silk Road was, but what he really did was a 30-minute tutorial on how to use Silk Road, how to use Tor, how to pay for it. It was really impressive in about 30 seconds. And that drove the price of Bitcoin all the way up to $30, and that was the biggest bubble Bitcoin had. And then from $30, we crashed down to $2. But what gave Bitcoin initial value from the year 2010 to the year 2012 was this use of censorship-resistant value transfer. I found Bitcoin very, very interesting in 2013. I had heard about Bitcoin back in 2011, 2012, but it wasn't interesting enough for me to get involved. In 2013, however, I did get very, very interested because of what happened in Cyprus. When the banks in Cyprus shut down, the European Union and the Cyprus government confiscated 50% of everyone's money above 100,000 euros. So if a person worked their whole life and they had 200,000 euros in a bank account, the government confiscated 50% of that money just from the bank. And this really, really scared me. Living in New York at the time, making a good, decent salary, now I kind of travel the world. But this really scared me, and that's when I realized that Bitcoin has perhaps an even more important property than censorship-resistant value transfer. The fact that it's uncensorable. That property is that Bitcoin is unconfiscatable. Because if you properly hold Bitcoin, no one can steal it from you. They can hack it from you if you don't hold it properly. But if you properly protect your Bitcoin, Bitcoin is the first asset in human history that is unconfiscatable. That's why that word did not even exist in the dictionary, and still doesn't. Also why I was able to get unconfiscatable.com just 6 months ago, because the word just did not exist. We've never had this before. Your property, your land, anything you own can be confiscated by a criminal, someone with a bigger gun, the government that enforces your laws. But Bitcoin can't, because it doesn't exist in physical form. And that is a very unique property. In the US, for example, that is civil forfeiture. Civil forfeiture is when police stop you or the government confiscates your property without actually accusing you of a crime. That's forfeiture. Police stop you in a car, they find a lot of money at you, they say we have decided that that money, you will use that money for criminal activity, or we believe you got this money for criminal activity, we are confiscating the money. You're not charged with a crime because we can't actually prove that you did anything. but we think that this money is illegal. So the amount of money that law enforcement confiscated from people was actually bigger than the amount of burglars and the amount of criminals that stole money from people. And again, this property of your money being unconfiscatable. But if you are not careful, that money will be hacked from you. When Silk Road was busted by the US government and the FBI, they were able to confiscate 144,000 Bitcoin. In 2015, they sold that Bitcoin for $48 million. If they held it to 2017, they could have sold it for $2.4 billion because the value of Bitcoin continued to rise. And this continued all the way up into the end of 2013 when Bitcoin was all the way at $1,200. There was a big incident at the very top, and that was Mt. Gox. One of the biggest and first exchanges was also hacked long ago, and they were continued operation. However, they didn't have the underlying Bitcoin, and eventually people using their website kept requesting their Bitcoin back. They didn't have enough, and the whole company went under. I'm not going to talk about the story of Mt. Gox, don't have the time for it at the moment. In 2015, there was another very interesting situation that I thought was very, very critical and will continue to be critical for the future of Bitcoin. And that was the Greek financial crisis when the Greek banks shut down and people were told that they could only withdraw 60 or 20 euros a day, I forget. It was 60 euros a day. So now I know 60 euros a day goes very, very far in India. In Europe, not as much. And it was people's money, and they were told they could only take 60 euros a day. And that happened an entire week long. Then suddenly, when they started resolving the problem, they said, okay, we'll open the banks, but now you can withdraw 420 euros for the entire week, okay? But what happened was, because the banks opened on Monday, everybody ran to the bank to withdraw their 420 euros for the entire week as early as they can, because they didn't know if they were going to change their mind the next day. And that is what it looked like in Greece in 2015. And it looked very, very similar to what New York looked like in 1907 when there was a big panic in 1907. Or Germany in the 1920s. Right there, you see people in Germany are burning money for heat in the 1920s, and right there in the 1930s, where the U.S. confiscated people's gold. And bringing it back to a more recent time, this is Zimbabwe. I really should have gotten even good pictures of what happened in India when your denominations were canceled, the 500 and the 1,000 rupee note. Do you guys have the 2,000 rupee note now in circulation? That finally came out, right? Because from what we heard, they didn't have enough of them. So you're turning in your 500, 1,000, you're supposed to get 2,000, but nobody has them. And that was a big problem. I really should have gotten pictures of that and added it to the presentation. And what did happen in the 1930s in the US? In the US in the 1930s, the government wanted to walk away from backing their currency with gold, and they confiscated gold from the banks, because the banks were holding all that gold on behalf of their citizens. Bitcoin removes that middleman once again. Bitcoin allows you to hold your own property, which is in some ways even better than gold. And there was a big penalty if you didn't turn in your gold. A recent book called The Bitcoin Standard. Anyone familiar with this book? Those of you that are familiar, how many of you have read it? I'm sure you know everyone has their hand up has read it. Excellent. Talked about why gold has been important for centuries and why Bitcoin may one day be more important. We talked about hard money. I don't really have time to read these passages, but by the way, this presentation is public. If you Google my name, Tony Vays, and the word Prezi, you see it in unfortunately, I can't really see it. Prezi, Prezi, it's a presentation software, all my presentations are public there. It talks about gold being hard money. If people choose a hard money with high stock to flow ratio as a store of value, their purchasing it to store it would continue to increase its value. Other people will want to create that money, but because Bitcoin is very hard to create, just like gold is very hard to find, you're not actually able to generate more money. Hard money, by taking the question of supply out of the hands of governments and their economist propagandists, would force everyone to be productive to society instead of seeking to get rich through the fool's errand of monetary manipulation. Let me skip this part. He refers to Bitcoin as the hardest money to have ever existed, and the growth, the more value a Bitcoin has, you're still not able to create more Bitcoin. Right now, 85% of all Bitcoin that will ever exist already exists. And the other, it's very difficult to get the last 15% that are on these giant mining farms, which I'll mention in a minute. So, by mentioning gold and Bitcoin, Satoshi he decided to give a finite number of these digital Bitcoins. He didn't have to. He could have created an inflationary model just like the current financial system. And he decided to make it more like gold and create a finite number of Bitcoin. And this brings us to the three properties that Bitcoin currently has that allow it to compete today with the US dollar, the euro, even gold itself. And that's the fact that Bitcoin is unconfiscatable, it's uncensorable, and it's uninflatable. And these are the three properties that the current financial system, our current fiat money, do not have. And this is what allows Bitcoin to compete. Where is Bitcoin currently struggling? Well, as was mentioned in the prior panel, it is still struggling with scalability, number of transactions per second. We are right now maybe at 7 to 10 transactions a second. We're scaling that. It's going to be so much better. The native batch 32 with SegWit, the Lightning Network, Schnorr, all of these technical proposals are going to be implemented that will allow Bitcoin to service 1 billion people at the same time. But another year or two is needed. Also, fungibility and privacy are a concern. I'll be on a panel tomorrow talking about is Bitcoin private or not, does it help foster criminal activity or doesn't it? And right now, Bitcoin transactions are fairly easy to track. In the future, they will be very difficult to track because those things are coming. And what makes Bitcoin special is that the moment it was released 10 years ago, it hasn't changed much at all. And the fact that Bitcoin code is so hard to change is what makes it so valuable. Just like it's impossible to change the nature of gold, and that's what makes gold so valuable. Okay? I have maybe 5 more minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Where is Bitcoin still struggling? Well, Bitcoin is still pretty volatile. We have just seen over the last year an 80% fall in the price of Bitcoin. Prior to that, we saw a big rise. So price volatility is a problem, and coin security is a problem. Not a lot of people are able to be their own bank. Your Bitcoin will be hacked and you can lose it. If you lose your private keys, if you lose your password, there's nobody there to help you recover your money. So these are the two things where Bitcoin is struggling, but it's getting better. This is transactions a second are getting much, much better. And as far as volatility is concerned, Bitcoin volatility is very high, that's the thick red line, but there have been times where other assets we all know have higher volatility. There also, the volatility has been going down over time. But this picture is all of the instances of hyperinflation throughout the 20th century. I know it's hard to see that list, but it's a very big list. And this is all of the instances of hyperinflation where your currency fell by more than 50% in a single month. I had to add that bottom section. All of these things in blue, they're all hyperinflation instances this decade alone. Countries like Zimbabwe for the second time, Egypt, Turkey, Venezuela, I'm sure everyone's heard. Also Russia and Ukraine when they got into their war. Here's Venezuela, here's Zimbabwe for the second time. And most hyperinflation incidents are political events. They're not the cause of too much money printing. Here are two very recent events in the developed world. This is during the Brexit vote. The price of the British pound moved 10% in a single day, and when the Swiss peg broke, that moved by 30% in a single day. Alright, I'm pretty much out of time. I just want to close out by mentioning Bitcoin is going to be very popular in the near future because all governments around the world want to eliminate physical money. And you guys saw it here in India, and there's three reasons to eliminate physical money. There's no rush into the bank, like you saw with those pictures. The governments can set any monetary policy that they like. And of course, this is a study from Harvard. They talked about India, that 30 to 45% of your GDP is, the government says that this is all tax evasion, and that's probably one of the reasons why the money has to get recycled. India is trying very hard to eliminate physical money, but you guys are not technologically ready. Being all the way to the right side means you benefit the most from the elimination of physical cash, and being all the way down means you're not technologically ready. Alright, thank you very much. You can find this presentation online by Googling my name and the word Prezi, where this presentation resides, R-E-Z-I, for more of the slides. And I talk a little more about proof of work, but I didn't have a chance to do so on this one. Once again, here's my information. Please Google me, find my YouTube channel, and my audio podcast. Thank you very much, and I'll see all of you tomorrow when I speak my time. I don't think I have enough time. I only have 15 minutes for a presentation, but I'll be around tomorrow. Ask me the questions during the panel or find me here right now. Thank you.